9 months ago, I made a basic video on how to spruce up your terminal like you see in the YouTube videos of Linux power users. I didn't think it would get more than 5,000 views, so naturally it became the most viewed video on my channel, but there were issues. I wasn't 100% satisfied with the results, and a few commenters had brought things to my attention that I wanted to try out. So I got to work and I was able to create this. Notice how the colours match the thumbnail? That wasn't the case last time, and I'll explain why in a minute. Today, I'm going to show you how to get this on your setup, including how to play animations next to your system stats. For those of you who haven't seen the previous video, don't worry. I will explain this from scratch, although feel free to check it out later anyway.
Ай-яй-яй. Оп, а кто же это? Бэтмен!
The first thing I did was install the Ghosty terminal. That's Ghosty with 2 T's. It's been hyped as the best terminal out there, but for me, its biggest selling points are that it doesn't spaz out when I try to zoom in, and it has a splitting function that I will likely never use. Also, since it's not built specifically for KDE like konsole is, I can easily bring my setup to another system. So head to ghosty.org, and after watching the landing page animation for longer than you should, click the download button and choose the option that fits your system best. I'm on Linux, and I went with the Snap version, and after simply pasting this into console, we now have Ghosty on our PC. Make sure to set Ghosty as your default terminal wherever your system manages default app settings. Your terminal doesn't yet look like mine, but we're going to fix that now. Start by going to wherever your config files are stored. Mine are here, and inside the Ghosty directory, create a new directory called themes. What we're doing here is solving the issue in the previous video whereby the colours in the thumbnail were not the same as the ones in the final result. This was because the thumbnail was edited to be brighter and more eye-catching. To atone for this lowly display of trickery, I have created a colour theme that actually does match the thumbnail. Created by taking the Dracula theme and maxing out the saturation in Krita, I call it Cocaine Dracula. So in themes, you're going to create a new text file and paste into it the text in the description. You can of course create your own theme, just replace the name and colours with your own and keep everything else the same. Save this file and head back into the Ghosty config directory and open the main config file. If it's not there, first try clicking this, then if it's still not there, create it manually, but it should be there. Your config file should start empty, that's normal. Add this line to set your theme. Then, while we're here, this is how you set the default terminal size and the font. I'll talk more about fonts later. More options can be found on the Ghosty website. Now just reopen Ghosty or hit Ctrl-Shift-, if you did the config stuff via Ghosty instead of the GUI, and your terminal should now look almost like mine. To make it look completely like mine, we next need to get ourselves a nerd font. These are fonts with extra symbols, and having one is an unavoidable requirement for the next step. So go to the Nerd Fonts website, linked in the description, choose and download a font, and unzip it into local/share/fonts or wherever your system stores fonts. Now remember that Ghosty config file? Put the exact name of your font on this line. With a nerd font installed, we can get Starship set up. Starship is
a cross-platform terminal thing that allows you to customize the look and feel of your terminal.
For those of you who already have this, bear with me, because you'll still need to change the color palette, and I've provided my complete Starship config in the link in the description. For those who haven't got Starship, here's how you get it. Just run this command to install the thing, then this one to set it as the default. More info is available from the Starship website, linked in the description. To configure Starship, we modify this file, located at this path. If you can't find it, paste in mine. Since the point of the video is to get you up and running with a decent config that you can then tweak later, I'm not going to go through all the nitty-gritty of every line in this file. The website has all the info. If you're lazy like me, here's a summary. This section is the meat and potatoes of the configuration. It controls the appearance of this bar thing. These symbols are the reason you need a nerd font, and you control their colours like this. Then these dollar things refer to the modules listed below, where you can change their appearance. The colour palette goes here. Make sure these names match, and that's basically it. Now simply save the file and reopen the terminal, and you should see it looking exactly like mine. But we're not done yet. Cherno and bad apple were ye promised, and cherno and bad apple ye shall receive. The first thing we need is fast fetch. I used to use neofetch, but that's not maintained anymore, which means it's officially cringe slop and needs to be purged from public memory. And fast fetch is fast. It's literally in the name, so if that's not enough to convince you, anyway, head to their GitHub repo and follow the installation instructions for your system. I had to run these, and that was it basically. Try it out to make sure everything's working, and now we can configure. We'll start with the basics, and we'll look at animated images later. I'm going to exclusively use the terminal from this point forth, because any beginners watching will need to get used to it anyway, because why else would you rice it? So we're going to open the fast fetch config file, which is also provided in the description, and I'll tell you what I changed. The full detail can be found in the GitHub repo. We'll skip the logo for now and focus on the rest of the file. The stuff that most of you will want to modify is located here in the modules section. Break tells it to skip a line, and then the rest is actually very easy. There are a bunch of modules that each show a piece of info. You can use this command to view all the modules, and then this one to generate a config file with all the modules enabled, so you can just remove the ones you don't want, or you could just use mine. One important thing I learned was that this key icon line doesn't work for some reason, but that's fine because you can just manually specify the key title as I did here. You can find these symbols in the nerd font cheat sheet. As for the colours, I'm not 100% sure where it pulls the names from, so if you're using a different palette, you might have to figure things out yourself, but using mine as a base should allow you to take advantage of my trial and error process. So once you've got your modules figured out, and remember that you can adjust the size of your terminal in the main ghosty config file, we can move on to the logo. I'm going with Cherno this time instead of Suika, who's busy attending her local Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, if Cherno ever shows up uninvited, make sure to contact the appropriate authorities, such as your local shrine maiden or kleptomaniac. It's a lot quicker than sending your maid. In fact, that's the first rule of managing house help. Do not send the help to evict the angry prepubescent ice fairy occupying the house's pocket dimension. The other rules are more like guidelines, to be honest. Anyway, just like last time, I'll be taking an image, editing it to keep just the face, and here's the trick, inverting the colours. This will help with the next step. Head over to the Braille Art tool linked in the description and plug in your image. Then play with the parameters a bit until you're satisfied. I'd advise a width of around 50 characters or it'll be too big. Now copy this and head back to your terminal. Navigate to the fast fetch config directory and create a new text file using the touch command. Now open the file and paste in the Braille art. Then back in the fast fetch config file, paste the complete path. It should look something like this. Make sure to indicate the type as file up here. And as for the colours, honestly your guess is as good as mine, but 36 gives me cyan, so 36 I shall keep.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Here's how to get animated images in FastFetch. This was suggested by a comment under my previous video, so don't hesitate to make suggestions down there. I do read them. The tool we'll be using is called AniFetch, which we'll install with this command. Then pick a video. It doesn't matter where from. Now we test it by running AniFetch and then the path to your video. You don't need to manually put the video anywhere because AniFetch will make its own copy, so just use your downloads folder. Also, stick to MP4 just in case. I honestly don't know if any other formats are supported, but I don't really think it's relevant given how widespread MP4 is, so I'm not really going to bother looking into that. And keep it under 5 minutes or it'll take ages to cache before the first test run. Now don't worry if it's too big, too small, or not centered. On the GitHub repo there are a list of command flags that you can use to modify this. The command I put together looks like this. But that's a bit tedious to type, isn't it? So once you're sure you won't change it, we're going to create an alias like this. And now, that's it. Make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you found this useful. I'm definitely not a lizard, and I control the Wyoming Badger Cartel.